Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today I'm just doing a little bit of a update or add-on, if you will, to this set 76317 in regards to a camera setup, an enhanced camera setup, because Peter Parker is a photographer, he is a journalist, and he often runs around with a camera and would prefer a nice camera, but obviously a lot of times he's always depicted as never really having a lot of money, and he's always broke. Now the camera that they give him inside this set is, and I just accidentally took out his entire desk. Let's see if I can get that back inside there. There we go. Now they give him this camera here to start with. Oh, sorry guys, let me just change my angle a little bit and we're gonna yeah. So they give him this to start with, and obviously they don't give him a regular body, just give him the Spider-Man body, which is fine in my opinion, only because they have 4 figures. If you added an additional figure, then that would be kind of a lot. I have this extra regular body right here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the skin tone hands, but I'm just going to use this as a fill-in just to throw Peter on it. Could have probably chose a better choice of clothes, but this is the one we're going with, and these hands do look weird with him, but just go with it for right now. So it was funny is that, I'm going to put a link in the description down below, that I made a video about if you want to elevate your Lego camera game, and I don't have all those now because I had used them in a couple of other sets that I had used. So I did it for my Johnny Thunder character and a few other stuff. So, but I did make, like I said, a video just breaking down how to enhance your whole camera look and your camera stuff going on at that time. And in that video, funny enough, I had mentioned, hey, you know, if you want to upgrade your camera system for your figures who use photography and whatnot like that. And I had mentioned that in it, even though my inspiration was for my Johnny Thunder character, because in that small set I had, he was in some kind of little like ATV, little kind of like Jeep thing. He came with a camera, and him being the kind of person who hunts in nature and this and that, and would get, you know, photography of wildlife. I was like, that was my inspiration, was to give it to him. But I also mentioned in the video, hey, you know, you could also use it for other various things. And I mentioned Peter Parker. You know, if Peter Parker, you know, I don't know if I mentioned apartment, but I was like that, you know, Peter Parker would use that for his thing, whatever the case is. Sure enough, when I said that, this set was not even out, and now this set is out. And so I think it definitely would go, obviously, any kind of Peter Parker that you would have, but I think it definitely goes great with this because you got his apartment, and you would now be able to put his camera gear in his apartment. Yes, it would be a tight squeeze, but you were able to do that. So I just want to go over some of the cameras that I have left, because the other ones I really gave to Johnny Thunder, a couple of them. But here, like I said, in that video, you can look back at it. I themed it off of a lot of stuff you see with Canon cameras, if for those who are familiar with them, because I'm into photography. And the red ring would normally denote their premium line. So this would be an example of one of their red ring lenses on a camera body with a flash, because a lot of times the flashes, not only would obviously they be elevated above the camera, but they would also have that ability to articulate them. So I thought that looks really nice. And then in this one here, it is like Canon's yellow lenses, or white lenses they usually call them, but they usually have like a cream color like this. But and they're very known and popular for that as well. So this is one of those with the tripod mount as well. But that's what was going for with that. And this is just simply, obviously, just a longer lens that you could throw on the front of the camera. So those ones there already have the cameras attached. And then this one here, if you were to take off his regular small lens on his camera and throw on that, he would have a little bit longer lens, which is cool. Or turn that back to normal. But this is definitely a set where I would really give these cameras to him, because like I said, I mentioned it in that video, and I just think it's awesome that now, hand in hand, this set comes out, and you could have Peter Parker with just an assortment of cameras. And what's very interesting too is that back in the days, he always just had his one camera. And even though you did have professional photographers back during those days that, you know, Spider-Man was first introduced, I'm not going to take it all the way back to the 60s, but even the 90s, but he'd always just have his one camera. But nowadays, if you're familiar with anyone who's into photography, they always have a whole list of lenses, especially if they do sporting events and this and that. And it's nice to be able to jazz that up a little bit. Now, granted, and as I mentioned before, he doesn't have a lot of room in his room. But, you know, there are ways you could take this off. And I've got a few things that are in here right now. So let's see if I can get this off, because that's another thing I've been meaning to do too, was I was thinking about making that not touching all the studs, maybe like lifting it up with a couple of like little studs on the side here, just so that way it doesn't grip to that so much and you can kind of remove it. Right now I got these used as a pair of binoculars and his mask is inside there. But if you wanted to, not that you're gonna be able to fit a lot of cameras, but you really probably would have to break them down. But if you wanted to, you could do that. You could take off the lens, take off his flash, and put it as like a little, you know, break it down into components. And then that way he would have his whole setup there. So that way, if he wants to run to get it, he could do that, or you could have that. And then maybe this one as well. And in that case, now he's got like a two part setup. What I think I will do is I'm gonna let him keep his premium camera. We're gonna keep his premium camera out on his table with his premium lens, a nice little setup there. I'm not gonna give him all the cameras. I'm gonna save some for maybe another set that I might need to use camera with. And this takes up way too much room on there for that. Obviously you could see right there. Let me zoom in and you can see that a little better. So that takes up way too much room, but it is what it is. I'm gonna leave it there for now. And his regular camera, I'm gonna throw that in there along with his binoculars and his mask in his little trunk. And let's see this really quickly, because this piece is here to make this easier to take off. But I think what I might end up doing, like I just mentioned, is if I put this here and I put this here instead, that should make it easier for me to lift this up. Now he can hold more things when you have this mounted in the way that it was, where it's like that, because now it sits up higher. But this will make it easier for me to remove this, I'm pretty sure. And I can get a grip on it from underneath there, yeah. So I'm gonna do that for now. Maybe later on I'll switch it back, but take his telescope, put it there. So all his stuff is inside there for now. And yeah. He's got his premium lens. I'm gonna save these two for another time where I might need them for a different set that comes up where I want someone to have a camera. But definitely, I just wanted to show you guys that, because I was actually rewatching that video of mine not too long ago, because I was thinking about that and the whole lens thing, and then the camera setup for Peter Parker, and I realized I mentioned him in that little setup I did of that camera setup. So like I said, link's gonna be in the description for that. Link's gonna be in the description for this set as well for you guys to purchase on Amazon. Yeah, and just you guys test that out. If you guys want to make the lenses and stuff like that. Now I had to order those parts specifically. If you have some laying around, cool. If you don't, but you're gonna place an order from Pick-a-Brick from Lego, I would say jump on that and add those to your setup. If you look back at that video, you will know what the parts are in terms of just looking at them. You kind of would have to go through the Pick-a-Brick setup to find the name of all those pieces because I don't have them on hand. To be honest with you right now, I don't. Let me see. I might actually have something that I could show you guys. Okay, so I actually do have something on hand, actually. So we're gonna take a look at that really quick while I have you guys here. And I'm sorry if this is dragging out a little bit. So you can see this piece here, that's a flat black piece. I don't remember if I used that at the tip of one of the cameras. In this order, I ordered a lot of like people as well. So don't mind you seeing a lot of those parts as well. I ordered that for the red ring. If you're familiar, like I said before, familiar with Canon lenses, I ordered that for the tan, or you know what Canon would consider their white lenses, but I didn't want it to be pure white because it is like a kind of tan color. That piece right there. So like if you type in the name of these right here on the side, you will it will pop up on the Pick-a-Brick. That flat clear one, because I use that type as well. The black one as well is used for when I made the longer lens. You got that is obviously a standard piece also for making these camera setups. And let's see here. And then you have that piece is for the flash, the upper part of the flash. You have that piece also, which I use for the flash as well, the square piece. And this is the bottom piece for the flash. Let's see. Is there any other thing? Yes. So if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I'm not sure if this is the one or not, but I know that I have a translucent, darker shade of blue one like this that you could look for. And I use that as a polarizing filter, but that same lens is now used on another figure. I think that was mixed with my Johnny Storm one. So yeah, you guys can make that purchase yourself on the Pick-a-Brick if you guys want to put these things together, and if you want to expand on your whole camera setup for some of your characters, but like, your Lego figures, I'm sorry. But I have used them for Johnny Thunder. I've used them for, I think I gave one to the tourist lady who was in the boutique hotel, and now I'm giving to Peter Parker as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.